JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with family and friends today. Now onto the news. 3 killed as gunmen attacked 2 couples in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. 2 men and a woman were murdered in western Jamaica on Thursday night as gun violence continues to plague the island. In Westmoreland, taxi operator 70-year-old Reynold Madden, otherwise called Jaggy, was shot and killed, and his 53-year-old wife was seriously injured when a gunman barged into their Water Lily Lane, George's Plain home. Reports are that the couple was at home with other relatives when a man drove up on a motorcycle and stopped at their gateway. The man disembarked with a gun and entered the house through the front door. It's understood that the man shot the couple before escaping. The couple was taken to hospital where Madden was pronounced dead and his wife admitted in critical condition. Over in St. Elizabeth, 62-year-old Sharon Calder and her 53-year-old common-law husband were both shot and killed when they were ambushed in Mungo Walk Lane in Mountainside on Friday morning. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Coleridge Minto, confirmed the incident.
So we're at the moment in the Mungo Walk Lane. This is in the Mountainside area. Sometime at about 3:45 a.m., the couple was on their way out of this lane. It is understood that the female is a craft vendor and sells in the Montego Bay craft market. The common law spouse was assisting her out when gunshots were heard. Residents stumbled upon the body and summoned the police. On arrival at the scene, we found the lifeless body of the lady lying in the middle of the road, face down. The gentleman was some distance away in the bushes. This is a community that is not known for violence. In fact, we have not had any major crime in this community for well over a year now. And so the residents of this area are very concerned and certainly not accustomed to this type of incident in this space. So we're appealing to anyone who may have any information at all on this gruesome act to share with the police. You can call 119, Crime Start at 311, or the Black River Police Station. Any information at all that you have, doesn't matter how slight it is or how minor you think it is, please share it with the police.
Jockey shot and killed in Portmore, St. Catherine. The St. Catherine South Police have launched an investigation into the gun slaying of a man in Portmore on Thursday. He has been identified as 34-year-old Jermaine Lynch, otherwise called Jockey, of Waterford, Portmore, St. Catherine. It's reported that at about 11:30 a.m., Lynch was walking along Waterford Parkway in the vicinity of a car wash when he was shot and killed by unknown assailants. Residents demanded justice after fatal police shooting in Clarendon. Residents are crying foul following another fatal police shooting in Clarendon. Ricardo Washington, a 28-year-old of a Denby addressing the parish, was killed in a police operation at Jack Monday, Denby, early Thursday morning. Reports are that at about 5:40 a.m., a police team went to a house in search of a murder suspect. The police say upon entering the premises, a man ran from the direction of the house. It was further reported that as the police team attempted to gain entry to the house, they were fired on. The police returned fire, after which Washington was found inside the house, suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police say a 9mm firearm was recovered, but residents are disputing the report of a shootout.
We don't have nothing bad to say about the little youth and they killing our house. He could have run, he can't run, the police kick off your door, he could have run, he don't make no effort to run. You know, see it, he stand up there and make them put him on in here and kill him. You know, see it, Andrew want justice. May I ask you, Andrew, if I really come here, say the man, them we just kill out the youth, them just like that.
Then just kick down your door and the man comply. First and foremost, if you come for your man, you're supposed to tell him, say, what you come for him for. You see me, I say, you're supposed to tell him, say, oh, you know, say, me have a suspicion of this and that. None of that. You see me? Then just come knock down door and just do whatever they want to do. That don't make sense, bro. You see me? Want justice. You see me, I say.
The incident has been reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM. 2 charged of a Cherry Tree Lane massacre remanded. The 2 men charged of the recent massacre in Cherry Tree Lane, 4 parts Clarendon, which left 8 people dead, were remanded when they made their first appearance in the Gun Court Division of the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. Dushane Smalling, 28, otherwise called Snowman, of North Street in Maypen, and Leighton White, 32, otherwise called Bonds, of Havana Heights, are each charged with 8 counts of murder, 8 counts of shooting with intent, 8 counts of wounding with the use of a firearm, possession of prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Senior Superintendent Shane McCullough provided an update on the incident.
I'm Shane McCullough, Acting Senior Superintendent of Police in charge of the Clarendon Division. We have been carrying out a number of targeted operations under the SOE. As recently as yesterday, the 2 persons who were picked up in the ongoing operations and investigations have been charged for the murders and shooting in Cherry Lane, the necessary intervention and support for the victims of crime that is also ongoing. Since the start of the SOE, we have been pursuing a number of other persons outside of the 2 persons that have been charged, and that operation is ongoing, and we expect that during the pursuit that other persons related to this tragic incident will be caught and brought to justice in short order. So we just want to reassure the public that we are continuing the hunt for these men, whether they're in Clarendon or they're outside the borders of the parish. The operations continue, and as recent as this morning, there was a police criminal confrontation that ended in one gentleman being injured and later pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to persons who choose to engage in criminal activities, and when we go after them, which we will, and they then decide to engage the police in a gunfight, I want to tell you that there can be only one outcome, and I'm asking persons to cooperate. And if you find yourself in that category, please surrender and allow us to take you in peacefully so you can have your day in court. We will continue to carry out the operations as needed and as necessary to ensure that the citizens of Clarendon remain safe and secure to carry out their business and live in peace.
Lawmen must defend themselves, says Chang, amid increased police fatal shootings. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has responded to concerns about an increase in police fatal shootings, warning that lawmen will continue to defend themselves against attacks from criminals. According to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, more than 100 people have been shot and killed by the security forces since the start of the year. Dr. Chang said the inference can be drawn from the concerns of the investigative body that the police are executing criminals. But the minister insisted this is not the case, since there are clear signs of combat when police come in contact with criminals, most of whom are armed.
You have all of this here, every single police shooting was visibly involved in combat. You know, when the classic recollection would be the Negril station. Those men were not men you offer the huge the TV show, drop your guns, the police is here, let us talk. I will give you a lot. They are not waiting for that. They're heavily armed, and that is true of most of our criminals that the police have been attacking. And I cannot ask the police to expose themselves to injury. Where the policeman shot in St. Catherine in his face, he's just one of those injuries that you say it was fortunate way it went. He was shot in his face in combat. That man, 2 people were killed in that. To classify it the same way you complete a kind of collateral shooting by police is, I think, a little bit out of line in terms of how you present the data. But the international community tend to do that. The human rights people tend to do that. They get some morbid benefit from it, I presume. But it is incorrect. You should realize they're all being conducted in clear combat situation with men who are determined to kill, have killed, would kill again, and was willing to kill the police. Such individuals have to be dealt with in combat. And we train our policemen well. We prepare them, we give them the body armor and the helmets to protect them, because my first responsibility is to protect the officer involved and to protect the wider society, to allow the officer to work safely. At some point, we have to begin to look at how we classify it. You said we have near 2,000 plus shootings per annum. We have consistently for nearly 23 years have over 1,000 murders. The perpetrators, when identified the police and are apprehended, will shoot, because the men who are involved are not prepared to face the court, especially when they're interrupted in an event. Their frame of mind is to start fighting. When they're identified as person of interest, some will come in the lawyers, and we have no problem with that. We welcome that. The police in today's investigation, my understanding, is becoming far more systematic and thorough. So they build cases with more training, as we've done, with more active detectives and the equipment we have in terms of intelligence and telecommunication equipment. The entire ecosystem for the police to execute their job has improved, and they too have changed their style to go for systematic accumulation of information and evidence. This is a far cry from what the former government would call crime plan, when you create a small hit squad to go after a few individuals, which never did anything to improve crime.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.